William Henry Harrison. By a mile. The man died 32 days into office because he refused to wear a coat on a cold day. He gave the longest inaugural speech ever. A man that stubborn most certainly would have run this country into the ground. I just wish he would have lived to make it happen.
Oh my goodness. That answer was horrible.
Thank you.
It wasn't a compliment. Anyway, do you want to know who my favorite president is?
Nope.
Well, I'm telling you anyway. It's Calvin Coolidge.
Oh, good old Silent Cal. You know, you could learn a thing or two from his nickname.
Silent who?
Silent Cal. He's your favorite president, and you don't even know that people called him Silent Cal because of his quiet demeanor?
Nope. I just like him because his last name is so awesome. It's what I would change my last name to if I could. Although, I'd probably just short it to Cool.
What about your current last name of Rudy? You would just throw that away?
Of course not. I'd move it to my middle name and make my middle initial R. And while I was at it, I think I'd change my first name to Dogs instead of Puppy. Makes you sound more mature.
So, you would want to be called Dogs Are Cool?
I made you say dogs are cool. Mission accomplished. Mission accomplished. This is the best day ever.
The presidential election. That glorious event where every 4 years we get to hear how the country is on the decline and needs to be restored to its former glory. It's an easy promise to make, but apparently a hard one to keep. Yeah, time for a change! Let's do it! Oh, I guess that last guy wasn't able to change things. That's okay, this guy will. Alright, I'm starting to think you guys just say the same thing every 4 years no matter what state the country's in. Can't anybody come up with an original campaign slogan? Hey, keep cool with Coolidge! That's awesome! He really was the best president ever. But anyway, even though we were over a year away from the presidential election, there was already a ton of coverage on it. So I knew the questions from Callie were going to come sooner than later. I just hoped the first question would be something really easy, like who was the first president?
Daddy, what happened in the Monica Lewinsky scandal?
Ah, Sprinkle. This was going to take some careful maneuvering to correctly explain. Or I could just lie.
Well, you see, she wanted to be president, and Bill Clinton said that she couldn't be president because she was a woman, and that upset a lot of people because it was sexist.
Well, was he right?
Of course he wasn't right. Women can be in politics, they could even be president. It even runs in your family. Your great-grandmother was a state representative for 17 years.
Pretty impressive, considering she was elected at a time when, well, you can see the ratio of men to women in this picture.
That's awesome. It makes me want to get into politics when I get older.
Good luck with that.
You see, the two political parties were becoming more and more partisan every year. By the time Callie was old enough to enter politics, extreme candidates were likely to be the norm. The general election would probably be between candidates like Donald Trump and a liberal Sarah Palin.
Wait, I just thought of a hilarious idea.
I'd like to welcome everybody to this debate between Donald Trump and recently turned liberal Sarah Palin. Sarah, what's the reason for the change in political parties?
Just like the great George Washington would always say, if you can't beat 'em, join 'em.
Yeah, he never said that. Great job on your opening statement. Now, Mr. Trump, do you have anything to say before we begin?
Freedom. Liberty. The Constitution. Ronald Reagan. Where's the birth certificate? Mexicans are all drug dealers. Hillary was at my wedding. Rosie is a fat pig. Invade China. Roll Tide.
Hey, I want Trump to know that I have my birth certificate. It's right, uh-oh. It was right here a minute ago.
Well, you better find that birth certificate, Mrs. Palin. It's a well-known fact that anyone without a birth certificate is a drug-dealing Muslim extremist.
You're a well-known fact, Mr. Trump. Okay, let's get to our first question. Entitlement spending. What do you plan to do about it? Miss Palin, we'll start with you.
The great John F. Kennedy once said, "Ask not what you can do for your country, but what your country can do for you." I want to follow in his footsteps and increase entitlement spending by implementing a 99% tax rate on the top 1%.
Wow. Are you really suggesting that the top 1% of earners in America have an income tax rate of 99%?
Well, it's about time they start paying their fair share, and they don't need all that money anyway. 1% of $1 billion is still $1 million, so they'll be fine.
Okay, your math is completely wrong, but if I correct you, it'll only further entrench you in your position. Let's get Mr. Trump's opinion.
All this entitlement spending needs to end, but the one I want to focus on is food stamps. If you can't afford a meal, get out of this country and go to Mexico. Now, on a completely unrelated note, I want to list a couple of restaurants that I own that you can buy a meal at and make me money. I mean, save the American taxpayers money by not using food stamps.
Hold on, Mr. Trump. Now, I've actually met with people that eat food stamps. In fact, I've eaten food stamps with them, and I can tell you that they are some of the nicest.
Excuse me, Miss Palin! Did you just say you've eaten food stamps? Do you think food stamps are an actual item of food?
Well, yeah. What else would they be?
They're what you can use to purchase food.
Oh, my goodness. Well, that's dumb. Why not just give them real money? Then you'd save the cost of actually printing the food stamps.
Hey lady, they actually haven't printed food stamps in years. And if you just give them money, they're only going to spend it on drugs. Because everybody that's on food stamps does drugs. Notice how I said everybody, regardless of their skin color, nationality, or gender. See, I'm not a racist or a sexist.
Sure you're not. Okay, we're moving on to the lightning round. Mr. Trump, I'm going to read a list of issues, and I want you to tell me whether you'd ban them or not. Here we go. Birth control.
Ban.
Abortion.
Ban.
Gay marriage.
Ban.
Guns.
Now the thing about banning things is that it never works. People are still going to get what they want. Banning guns will only create a black market. So not only should the sale of guns be legal, we need to get them into the hands of our kids at a young age. That way, they'll know how to use them safely. Plus it'll come in really handy when we invade China.
Bold strategy to give China that kind of advance warning. Let me know how that works out for you. Okay, Miss Palin, you're up. First question. A minimum wage lower than $25 an hour. Ban or no ban?
Ban.
Interrogating terrorists, even without the use of torture.
Ban.
First place medals or any other award that might make a child feel sad because they didn't win.
Ban.
Guns.
Ban. Although for that last one, I would keep them legal in Alaska. Think of all the tourist money we'd get if we're the only state where you can use guns. And now I have the vote of every Alaska resident. How many electoral touchdowns is that state worth?
Who cares about Alaska? I'm telling that state that Canada is my first order of business.
Oh, I'm okay with that. I hear they have a great healthcare system up there. Socialism, yay!
Speaking of foreign policy, that leads us to our next question. Miss Palin, can you give your views on the Mexican border situation?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I've never been to Africa. But as president, I promise that I will work on spreading peace throughout the world.
Yet again, we see how the Marxist, socialist, communist, Nazi liberals are way too soft when it comes to our border. We need a wall, and we need it now.
Oh, a wall. I'm watching this documentary on Canada, and they built this huge ice wall on their northern border to keep the White Walkers out. Maybe we can do the same thing. Do they have ice in Mexico?
Miss Palin, that's not a documentary. You're just watching Game of Thrones.
A throne. Now that's what this country needs. Enough with democracy. You guys can't be trusted to elect a leader anyway since you're all drug dealers. So I propose we turn the White House into a giant throne and have a bloodbath to see who gets to sit in it.
What a great idea, Mr. Trump. If people are busy killing each other, they won't be killing the wildlife up in Alaska. Animals are our future, you know. We have to preserve them at all costs, even if that cost is a human.
Hey, I'm coming around on this Palin lady. What do you say to becoming my running mate?
Oh gosh, yes, I'll do it. I've done this before too. And I would have won if that McCain guy hadn't screwed things up. I hate him.
Hey, I hate McCain too. He thinks he's a hero because he fought in the Vietnam War. Well, I'll tell you what I think of him. I think he's a drug dealer.
Well, by golly gosh darn it, I think we just found our first victim in the throne bloodbath.
Sarah, I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
I'm moving to Mexico.
Peak debate.
Hey, Dad. While you were staring off into space, I think I just made a Calvin Coolidge in my diaper.
What? No, you didn't. I would have heard it if you did. You always make a big noise. I'm sure you just... Oh, no, you're right. Yep, I smell it now.
Oh, good old Silent Cal.
I made you say dogs are cool. Mission accomplished. Mission accomplished. This is the best